This was the grandfather of this sort of genre, and was incredibly novel at the time of release. I did play this one as a kid as well, but I'll just say up front that I didn't really have a good time with it, so bear with me if I'm not oozing with passion and good memories here. It's not personal, I promise. Now you could probably get a gist for what Neopets is looking at the title. Virtual pets. Now I know what you're thinking right off the bat. Oh, creepy creatures, what a shameless Pokemon ripoff. Well, funnily enough, Neopets, despite releasing in 1999, was in development since 1997. So while Gen 1 of Pokemon was out by then, I think it would be kind of a stretch to say it was a ripoff. Plus, these games have nothing in common besides weird, wacky creatures. I replayed Neopets for this video to get a reminder of what it was, and funnily enough, I have the same problems with it now that I had in like 2005. I don't know what kind of Elmer glue and sticks this website runs off of, but things are just always down, or the website loads slowly for no explainable reason. I also think the menus are just kind of awkward to navigate. And when everything is just a website and no animations or things like that, I think it was harder for me to really feel immersed in the world. In the game, there are really only a few things you can even do, which in my experience usually just boils down to clicking on a store, and this game has inflation? Neopets inflation? Give me a break. Are there Neopets recessions? Is there a Neopets stock market? If inflation's on the table, so is anything. Neopets true crime. Neopets Big Bang Theory. Neopets space-time distortion rips into goddamn... You can also haggle prices with the storekeeper, which is kind of cute, and I guess it kind of taught kids a valuable skill. Like, listen, Neopets has its charm, and it has its moment in internet history, but it's really not that fun in 2023. I'm also not a kid anymore, so I'm not the key demographic. I talk about Nintendo games instead, which is for much more serious gamers. Although my general lack of fun is not just because I'm older now, because as said, I remember having these problems as a kid as well. I remember just distinctly me and my parents sitting around the computer and just not being able to figure out this site. There are mini games at least throughout the various towns, but they aren't very good. Like this arrow mini game where I can't get a single arrow to make a dent in the bullseye. The only indicator of when to fire is the highlighted bullseye in the corner, but it really doesn't make any sense. The others aren't anything to write home about either. Dear Mom, today I played a Flash game that was coded on a toaster. I feel like I'm gonna piss people off with this opinion, but I just really don't feel like Neopets aged well. It's a relic of its time, and just felt like it was begging for a facelift. Not what I meant. In general, as much as I think Neopets is antiquated, I also think it's sort of nice that it hasn't evolved. It's a fascinating thing to look back at. You could probably show it to your kids and be like, well, this is how we used to play back in my day, and it's a genuine experience.